Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. We got another product here from our friends at Hansshow, and why I'm in the back of the car here of my Model Y, I'll show you. I'll open up the package and quickly show you right now. It is these marker lights. Now these marker lights from Hansshow, they're illuminated, they light up, they're not just reflective marker lights. They go on the back of the Model Y or Model 3 right there, and of course right there. And on the Model 3 and the Model Y, they're just reflective. If I zoom in here, I'll show you. These don't light up. They're just simple reflective lights. But the Hansshow ones do light up, and I'll show you how they do it. And you know what? They look cool. I'll be honest. They look cool, but the main reason, I'll be honest with you, the main reason I'm doing it is not for the aesthetics and not for the looks and everything, but for the safety. When you're driving and you're braking, whether you're on the highway or the road, you want the person that's behind you to know that you're stopping or signaling, and it's a safety thing. There's too many cars being rear-ended. There's too many distracted drivers out there in this day and age. Any little thing you can do that adds more safety and more acknowledgement that you're doing a maneuver for all the people around you, the better, in my opinion. So let's get the install started. Looking at the box here, as you can see, it's very simple. It just comes with the lights themselves, and they're wrapped up, but as you can see, the protective wrapper just came off. It's got its own wiring for each, and I'll show you how this goes in. And then down below here, if you take all this off, you put this all back together, you lift it up, there's some instructions right here. But if you look at the instructions, typical Hansshow, typical Chinese instructions, they are terrible. They're really, really terrible. Actually, in this instructions, it talks about doing something that you don't even have to do, in my opinion. Anyways, we won't look at the instructions. That's what I'm here for. You watch this video and I'll show you how to do it. I'll have chapters down below with all the step-by-step stuff, so if you want to see just one step and you don't want to see the whole instructional video, just fast forward to that part. Okay folks, before we get started, let me just go through the stuff that you're going to need. You're going to need a pry tool. I wouldn't advise you using screwdriver or something like that. I mean, you can. I would advise it. Use a proper pry tool so you don't scratch your car. Some electric tape, and I'll show you what that's for. It's actually, you can put it on the pry tool to even give you more protection. A fish tape and a drill. A drill is optional, and I'll show you what I'm going to use it for. You don't have to drill. The instructions don't require any drilling into the car. I'm just going to do it because it's going to make things faster and easier. And when you see where I'm going to drill, you're going to realize that it's very unobtrusive and it doesn't destroy the car. Okay, we take the pry tool and we'll start on this side, and I'll just do one side so you get the idea, and then everything I do on one side, it'll be the same for the other side. What I would do is I would start on this end right here, and when I take it out, I'll show you and you'll see why. So just try to get in there as best as you can. It's sometimes a little difficult. I guess the narrower part is usually the easiest at first. Once you get it, if you have another tool or your hand, if your hand's strong enough, just hold that piece and then just keep prying to the other side. You can do the top two, and you know, this car is under a year old, but it still has, it went through a winter, so it already has some dirt on it. If you have dirt in between there, don't worry, it's fine. That's the part. If it makes that noise, don't worry, it's fine. And that's how easy it is to come out. Look at that. Don't mind the blood. I know I cut myself. It's from this pry tool. It's not from this at all. It's not a big deal. Let me show you why I started on this end. See this tab right here? I don't know if you can see it on the camera. This tab, what it does when it goes back in, it slides in, and let me bring the camera and show you here. This part right here. So this tab goes in there and it slides over. So if you started on this end, it would be a little harder. So it's always best to start on this end. So once that's out, what I would do, because I'm OCD, I'm going to clean up this area right here before I put the new one in. Okay, so after it's all cleaned out and it's ready, here's the new piece that's going to be going in here with the wiring. And as you can see, the holes, when I line them up, that hole on the left will go in where that clip is. The large hole on the right, the wide one, that's where those long clips will go in. And then the center hole, that's where the wiring goes in. And if I can show you the end of the wiring here, see, these wiring has two connectors on it, and they have to fit through here, and it has to be fished through here. So You can try. It's very, very narrow and very hard to do. And these wires, or these connectors, as you can see, aren't staggered. So I'm going to drill that. That's what the drill's for, and that's what I'm going to do. You don't have to do it, but it's going to be a lot harder, I can guarantee you. With a drill, with a hole drilled in there, it'll be a lot easier. And like I said, this is going to be behind here after you put this on, so you'll never see that hole, and you don't have to worry. No, like, I mean, the wiring and everything is all protected, and you won't have anything. You'll put electrical tape on this afterwards. You'll have no worries of any water getting in there, more so than the existing hole that it already has. So I'm going to drill that out a little bit bigger than it already is, just to make things easier. Okay, the dreaded drilling part is about to begin. Now, like I said, it's soft plastic, so you don't need any special drill. This drill probably, or this bit, it probably isn't even the proper one to use, but it's plastic, so you don't have to worry about it. You're just drilling a hole to make it a little bit bigger than it already is. Okay, and there you have it. And as you can see, it's bigger than it was before, and when you put these connectors in, they'll go in a lot easier than they did before. See, they already go in already. Okay, the next thing is you got to take this part out, but before that, it'll be easier if you take this whole, I guess what, it's a protective strike plate for the trunk area. This just pops up. You just hold it back here. Use a pry tool maybe. Where is my pry tool? Here's the pry tool. Just get it in under here. Lift it up so you can get your fingers in, and then this just pulls up. Don't worry. You're not breaking anything, they're just clips. It sounds worse than it is. And the whole thing comes right out, and you can put that aside there. And now you've got, if these clips come off, you can just put them back. There's another clip that came off here. You can just take it out, and it just goes back in. Let me show you. It's hard to do this while holding the camera. The clip just goes back in here. Okay, so I hope you can see. Once that's out, there's a clip right here. Not a clip, one of those little push things. Use the pry tool, you lift it up, it comes right out. This just holds the carpet in. It's one of these clips, or plugs, or whatever they're called. Put that aside so you don't lose it. So the carpet is out of the way. Now up here, you pull this rubber gasket back, and you need to pull these two plastic pieces aside, because you need to get to the wiring plug, which is in back here somewhere. There's other electronics back here. Oh, is that it over there? That's it right in here. If you get your hand in here. Okay, so once you get your hand in there, there's a plug right here. It looks just like this. This has to be unplugged from the harness, and I'll show you how easy it is, or how not easy it is to unplug this, because it is what's holding in, or what's plugged in and powering this tail light right here. So it goes right here. Okay, so this is the harness right here. This is what you're going to replace with, and it's almost identical. It's got one of these, it's just a different color. It's just a push thing that pushes in and pulls out. So let me show you what it looks like when it plugs in. So when it plugs in, it'll plug in just like this. It'll only plug in one way. And then what you do with this gray piece is you push it forward. That's when you plug it in. Now, to take that out, the one that's over there, it'll be like this. It'll be like in the socket. So what you're going to do, because it's such a small space, you won't be able to see it. You'll feel for it. There's a, right on the right-hand side, you can feel for this little tab. You pull the tab back like that. See how it goes from originally here, and it goes back here. It just opens up a little bit. But once the tab is pulled back, then you press down here, and then you can unlock it. So let me show you again, because once it goes in, and you push it in, you're locking it. Now, when it's locked, that means you can't push it down without pulling it out first. So you have to pull it out first, then push down, and then it'll come out. So that's what you're doing on both sides of these tabs. So once you have it out, there's the plug right there by my knuckle dangling there. You plug this part, this female part, into it, and then the other end, the male part, you plug into the car itself. So this is just basically a jumper. It goes from here to here, and then this is the wiring here that goes to the new taillight. Okay, so once you have the wire run and the little jumpers connected, then I would test it out before you go fishing all the wires out and everything. And as you can see here, if you look here, the wires are color coded. You've got yellow and green, and then you've got red and black. And if you look at here, you have yellow, instead of green, you got blue, but that's basically the same, and then red and black. So you just connect these together. Now they only go one way. Make sure you just have the right colors. And once they're connected, then you can test them out. So basically just go in your car, press the brake light, have this, I mean, this is probably where you need a friend. Okay, so once you have that done, then this part just here just pulls up and it just clips. As you can see, those round things clips. Move this out of the way as best as you can, because the more you move that out of the way, this tub here can lift up. So then you need to take this part out right here, and once again, it's one of these clips. Use your pry tool, lift it up, pull it out, save it, and then this whole part lifts up here. And put that aside, because now you need to be able to move this freely. And once it's out, as you can see, just move this out of the way, lift it up a little bit, and you can pull this whole thing out to the side. You don't need to pull the whole thing out, just pull it to the side so you can get into the back there. Okay, so once you have that pulled out to the side, like I said, you don't need a lot of room, but you need to see that, I don't know if you can see it there, that little vent, and I'll just mark it right there, that little vent there, that's what you have to fish the fish tape through. So you don't need a lot of room, just enough to get the tape through there, because that'll go into the wheel well, which is right, if you come over here, it's going to come right over here. Okay, not gonna lie, it's hard. You have to take all this out. This is a 2022 car built in June of 2022. So I checked the wheel well here, and there's no access to the wheel well. They've changed the design. You know how Tesla's always changing on the fly. So what you have to do is take all this out as much as you can. And I don't know if you can see in there with the light. That black square down there, or rectangular, that's a vent. And you have to take it out, and let me show you what it looks like. Where did it go? So this is what it looks like, and it's a vent. And you can put your finger through it. It vents, I guess, from the charging. The charging is right up here. So there's little clips on the side here, and on the top, there's two on the top, and then two on the bottom here. And you have to take this out. Now, once you take this out, then you can fish your fish tape through that big hole that you've made now. You fish it all the way up, and it'll come out through that vent hole, right where I showed you there. That vent hole, that's the fish tape that's going all along here, and it comes out here. So once you get it, then you have to put the wiring in the fish tape, do the electrical tape or whatever. I'll show you how to do it in a second. And you have to do it through the vent, and I'll show you how to do that too. That's going to be a little tricky. So in essence, what we're doing is we're taking the vent like this, go for the farmost left part of it, take the wiring, stick it through here, through the front, because this is the back, remember. Take your fish tape and connect it with electrical tape, or however you want to connect it. I would suggest electrical tape. And then once that's done, then we're going to put the vent back in with the wiring and the fish tape. Okay, so now it's all joined with the fish tape and the wiring, and here is the vent. I'm just going to pull this through and put the vent back in. The vent should just clip in. I won't be able to record it because I need all my hands that I have, and I can't hold the camera, and there's nowhere I can put the camera. Okay, so once you have it fished through and pulled through, just connect the two wires just like I showed you before. Put some electrical tape on it, really good, so it doesn't so no water gets in it, and just push it back through, and turn the hazards on, or the four-way flashers, to make sure it is working. And as you can see, it's working there. And then just clip it back in. These clips right here and this clips go right in there, and they should just fit smoothly. Then when you finish, just clip everything back in here. Don't forget to put that one back in. This goes back in, the liner goes back in. One goes in here, a little clip, and put everything back together. And then afterwards, just goes over and just snaps down. Then don't forget to put the rubber seal back over top the plastic liner here, all the way up to the top. Okay, so for the right side, it's a little bit easier. You take everything out just like the same, but you can actually lift it up and over like I did here and expose everything, because you don't have the charge port connectors and those orange deadly wires that scare the crap out of you. All you have is your amp and your subwoofer, and there is your vent again. So you do the same thing with this vent. I'll see if I can get down here and show you the clips. Turn the light on. The clips are one here, you push in, and then one here, you push in, and then two on the bottom. You do the same thing, and then the clip, and then it comes out here, and then you have to somehow maneuver it out of the hole from the bottom, from the inside out, just like that. Once you get it out, you do the same thing. Okay, so once you have it all fished out again and pulled through, wrap it up with electrical tape again, test it out. As you can see, they're both working, and then just feed it back through the enlarged hole you made and clip it in. It's that easy. I'll show you the final product in a second. Okay, as you can see, it's finished there, and those are lights. Those are when the hazards are on. Let me go into the car and press the brake light, take off the hazards. Hold on, turn this volume down. Press the brake light, and that's with the brakes on. Let me show you when this car starts up. When a car starts up, that should be the startup. A nice little animation there. Then you press the brakes. When I put the left turn signal on, and I put the right turn signal on, that's the brakes again, and that's the four-way flashers, or the hazards. There you go. I was expecting some of the other videos I saw on Hanshow's website where you can go through the wheel well. Well, those might have been the older cars before 2022 June build here, because these ones with the wheel well, you can't go through the wheel well. It's sealed. I don't know why Tesla decided to change it, but they change it, and that's Tesla. They go about changing things on the fly. They don't wait for production years, as we know. So get these now. If you're watching this video before, I believe April 19th, which is probably, you got a little over a week as of filming this, and when I put it up, I'm not sure, you get 20 or 25% off. It's an Easter sale. If you use my code, I'll put it down in the description below. Use the discount code and get 25% off. This isn't as hard as it looks. Like I said, it was only harder for me and took me longer because I was thinking of going through the wheel well. If you do have an older Model Y or older 3, then you can go through the wheel well. It should be easier. If you have a newer one, then you'll have to go through that little vent. And actually, since I found that vent, it was a lot easier. When I did the second side, the right-hand side, it was a lot easier. Also because I was able to move stuff out of the way. But all these things clip out, and they just clip back in when you're finished. So it's super, super simple. And that's all I got, folks, for you. Thanks for watching. Use the discount code if you get it. Get it before April 19th. When the sale ends, and then after that you can still use my code, and I think you still get about 10 or 15% off. So this one, the sale that's going on right now, just gives you a little bit of extra discount. Thanks for watching, folks. We'll catch you on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.